Alright, Rarity Collection 2 has been revealed. The day that everybody's waited for is here. Everybody's super excited. What are the cards in there, and are they good? That's what we're going to be looking at in this video. We're going to be looking at the individual cards that are in here. Are they good, and should you buy this product based on the cards that are in here? My name is Todd from Code2 Cards. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of the channel and a part of the community, as well as that like button. If you like the content, it does help us out tremendously. All right, we are going to jump into looking at Rarity Collection 2 and the cards that are revealed. I made a very short PowerPoint with all the cards on there that I'll kind of walk you through. But my initial take on this is it's not very good. And now I know that people are trying to be generous with this, and I know that a lot of people are saying, well, if you compare it to Rarity Collection 1, it doesn't quite compare. It doesn't even come close. It does not even come close to Rarity Collection 1. It is everything that I feared. And so at the very beginning, my advice to you is to buy the singles. Now, I know that people aren't going to listen to me because it's a fun set to open up. It really is. It's an amazing, fun set to open up. The Rarity Collection sets are tons of fun. But if you want to make the smart move is to buy the singles and not buy the sealed. Or to buy very limited amount of the sealed and focus on the singles. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to walk you through, but that's my initial advice to you is do not buy this product. It is not worth it. And you have to factor in the price hike of this product. This is more money. It's more money than Rarity Collection 1, and it's nowhere near as good as Rarity Collection 1. There's no Ash Blossom in here. There's no Imperm in here. There's no Triple Tactics talent in here. The cards that were driving Rarity Collection 1. There's no Pot of Prosperity. There's no Forbidden Droplet. There's no cards of that equivalent nature in this set. There just isn't. The best that you can hope for is to get the equivalent of Ghost Spell. That really is the best that you can hope for in this set, because the driving cards that were in Rarity Collection 1 just are not here. In addition to that, the cards that everybody was hoping for, Triple Tactics Thrust, Fenrir, Trident Dragon, those cards are also not in here. So what is in here? So I'm going to take you over. We're going to look at the PowerPoint. I'll break down all the cards, and I'll tell you the #1 problem that I have with this set that I think is going to absolutely kill this set. So hang tight while I bring you over to the PowerPoint that I made. It's very short. All right, so we need to go to display. Overlay. All right, so here's the PowerPoint. This is the PowerPoint that's put out by, well, I made PowerPoint, but this is an image that's put out by Dual Daddy. And so when you start walking through, you're going to see the first card, Abyss Dweller. That is a home run. That is an amazing card. I love it. But then you get to Trap Trick Rafflesia. I knew that they were going to put a Trap Trick card in here. I thought they were going to put Sarah, because Sarah does not have a higher rarity. Rafflesia already has an ultimate rare. So why would you go Rafflesia when you could go Trap Trick Sarah? And you're going to see this theme over and over again. Cards that had Starlights getting reprinted. Cards that had Ultimates getting reprinted. Cards that had Collector's Rare getting reprinted. They already had high rarity. You didn't need to do this. You're just destroying the value. You want to throw a bone to Trap Trick players. I support that. Do Sarah, not Rafflesia. Break Sword, you know, pretty decent card. It wasn't super expensive, but it's a nice card to have in here. Hope Harbinger is another great card in here. Number 60 is a great card in here. Exo Sister? Like, I just don't understand why we're going to Exo Sister. And this is... So, there's two main problems with this. First of all, a lot of these cards already have high rarity. The second problem with this is that a lot of these cards are relegated to certain decks. If you go back and you look at Rarity Collection 1, most of those cards were generic. Everybody wanted those cards. Even if they weren't huge chase cards, they were still relatively generic. Now, in this set, you've got a ton that are specific to certain decks. What that means is less people are going to be chasing this. Only Exo Sister players are going to want Magnifica. Is that Magnifica? You know, they're all the same. Yeah, Magnifica. Only Exo Sister players are going to want Magnifica, and that's going to drive the price down. Why is that a problem when it drives the price down? It's a problem because when you open up sealed product, you get a quarter century of Magnifica. Congratulations, you got a $5 card. You spent $120 on the box. That's a long way to get up to $120 when you're getting $5 cards. Rarity Seals, it's a great reprint, but it was not expensive. It had just gotten a reprint. Somebody came along and bought 72 of these off of me about a week ago. So I'm praying for that individual that they don't just end it now. Like, that ended up being a bad buy. We knew about Appaloosa, great reprint. Worry about that card getting banned at some point, but great reprint. Again, Unchained, you know, great reprint for Unchained players, but this card is pretty much just played in Unchained, which means that it's going to be super, super cheap. The IP, this is probably one of the chase cards in the set, if not the chase card in the set, as well as Appaloosa. So this is a great, great reprint. But we already knew that. Boral Lend is a great reprint, but it was already super cheap. It was like less than $1. So nobody was, you know, banging the tables for this card to get reprinted. I think it came out in Ghost from the Past 2, so it's flooded the market. There's tons of them out there. Access Code Talker, we already knew. That's a great reprint. I don't know why I'm forgetting. Underworld Goddess, this is a fantastic reprint. I love this. The card was getting up there to about $5 to $7, something like that. I'm going to absolutely love this in quarter century rare. But we've looked at all extra deck monsters. Here's what I want you to know about extra deck monsters. They're generally not going to carry the set. They should not carry the set because generally they're played at a one-of. You only need one of it. If you go back to Rarity Collection 1, those extra deck monsters, they were not carrying the set. They weren't. Baron was $45 at its highest point. Boral Sword was somewhere around $20 at its highest point. They were not the ones carrying the set. In this set, it is the extra deck monsters that are carrying the set. That's a real problem because you only need one of it. It's going to drive the price down. That's why I tell you to buy the singles because these are going to be cheaper than you think they are. You move on to the spells. There's some great spells in here. Mind Control, Poly, MST, all great reprints. I love them, but they weren't expensive cards. They're not going to be expensive in this set either. You're looking at something around $5 to $10 for the quarter century. Foolish Burial is a really good reprint. I love this card being in here. I'm super excited about it. I think this card could pull a higher price tag because, you know, everybody should have a really nice Foolish Burial. Book of Moon, we already knew, great reprint. Econ, this is a bad reprint. It just got an ultimate rare. The ultimate rare is absolutely beautiful. This is bad. Gold Sark, you know, fine reprint. E-Telly, great reprint. Book of Eclipse, great. The Lightsworn, you kind of knew that there was probably going to be some Lightsworn support in here. I think they missed on the ones they chose. I think this is a pretty decent one, but Judgment Dragon would have been where I think you should have went. Preparation of Rites is fine. Nobody's probably excited about that. We knew that Pot of Duality was most likely going to be in here because all the other pots were already in Rarity Collection 1. Forbidden Lance is fine. I would have went with Chalice myself. I think that's the better reprint, but Lance is fine. Xyz Encore's fine reprint. Why am I... Twin Twisters is great. I'm a fan of Twin Twisters. I love the card. Maybe for me, just I play decks where it's great to get rid of cards and put them in the graveyard. So Twin Twisters is a great card for me. Cosmic Cyclone, you know, RIP to my whatever they are, collector's rares that nobody's collecting anymore because they all seem to get reprinted at this point. Bingo Machine Go, a lot of people had this on their sheet. I'm not super excited about it. Again, the people that are going to be chasing this are Blue Eyes players. The rest of the players are not really going to care about this card at all. Cross-Out Designator, we all knew this was going to be in there. It's a great reprint. Abomination, great reprint for Unchained, but again, it's just Unchained, and that's pretty much it. So it's probably not going to carry a huge price tag. I love Rescue Cat, so I'm super excited for that. DD Crow, we knew. You got Raikou again for the Lightsworn. This is a great reprint for older formats. The Hamster, people love it. It was a little bit expensive. Skullmeister, probably not the hand trap I would have went with. As well as Chaos Hunter, probably not the hand trap that I would have went with. These are hand traps that are very specific to a certain meta. They're out of the meta way more than they're in the meta, so I would not, I'm not super excited about them. Should be pretty cheap. Droll is a great reprint. I'm glad that we got this art of Droll because I don't particularly like the other art of it. Rescue Rabbit, great reprint. I love it, although it did have a collector's rare, and I did have them. I do have them, so it's kind of a bummer there. The Rescue Rabbit collector's rare is absolutely beautiful. If you've not seen it, the background is amazing. Ghost Ogre, this is a little controversial because it is the alternate art of Ghost Ogre. I prefer the alternate art of Ghost Ogre. This is the Ghost Ogre that I like, so I love this. But I think most people prefer the original art, so I think most people are probably a bit disappointed. Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, a lot of people thought that this was going to be in here. Your Silent Swordsman, your Silent Magician, we already knew. Phantasme, great reprint in here, but we already knew it. Magician Souls, we already knew, but that's fantastic. Ghost Mourner, in the alternate art, again, I prefer the alternate art of Ghost Mourner, so I love this card, but I think most people prefer the original. Aluber, I have no idea what we're doing. You got to go back to like Burst of Destiny to get to where Aluber was a chase card at this point. Nobody's banging the table for a Luber. That's a silly reprint in my opinion. Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. This already had a quarter century. I don't know why we're doing this, but we did it. The Pearlies, we already knew. We already knew the ritual guy there. Illusion of Chaos is a great reprint. This is a really good reprint in here. I know it was just reprinted, but the card's going to look amazing. And it is a somewhat meta-relevant card, so I love it. Dragoon is one of my favorites in here, but you know, not everybody plays Dragoon, so don't look for Dragoon to be like a $100 card. It might be $100 on pre-sale, but it's not going to hold that price. Masquerade, whatever. I don't think anybody's super excited about that. I do love the card. I think it's a great card. Take 600 damage, I think, every time your opponent activates an effect. You know, I think it's a great card. I don't think anybody was chasing after this. Guardian Chimera, great reprint, but again, very specific to certain decks. It's not generic. It's not something that's played universally. Garua, fantastic reprint. It wasn't tons of money, but still a really good reprint. Rehoboam, not... I don't even have words for that. Should have did the other fusion that came out in the other set. I can never say the name of that either. Trishula is a pretty fine reprint. Pretty, you know, I'm definitely going to want Trishula. TG Hyper Librarian, I don't understand that at all. Psy-Frame Omega, great reprint. This card was expensive. It's always expensive. This is fantastic in here, as well as Clearwing, another great one. Blue Eyes, Spirit Dragon. Man, we are really hitting these Blue Eyes, driving me nuts. But Blue Eyes, whatever. Coral Dragon, it just got a reprint in that horrible set that came out. It's fine. Psychic End Punisher, this card was very cheap, so I don't think anybody was expecting this or excited about this, but can you imagine what this is going to look like in quarter century? It's going to be amazing. I love it for that reason and that reason alone. Coming over here, Fusion Deployment, it's fine. Exosister Packs, again, Exosister, the planets you got back here, I'm not going to go over those. We already knew. Sol and Luna, this is kind of weird. It makes sense because of the other book cards, but this card has I've never seen a single person play this card. Not once in my entire life. So this is probably like the joke of the set. The Pearlies, we knew. Solemn Judgment, we knew. Anti-Spell Fragrance would have been great if you didn't knock it down to 1, but there you go. Skill Drain, great reprint. I'm super excited for it. Definitely getting a play set of the quarter centuries, even though I know it does set it up to get banned or limited to 1. And Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning, we already knew. So here's what I want to say. When you're looking at these cards, one of the things you have to realize is that a lot of these cards are very specific to certain decks, or they come in the meta at certain times, but most of the time they're not in the meta. That's going to drive the price of these cards down significantly. Second of all, a lot of these cards already had higher rarity printings. That is also going to drive the price of these cards down significantly. People who had their higher rarity Twin Twisters, a lot of them are just going to stick with those. They're not going to be chasing after new higher rarity cards. They're not. And because of that, and because you don't have those super high-end cards, a lot of these cards are great. You can look at them and you can say, wow, that's amazing. Like Illusion of Chaos, that's an amazing reprint. It's going to look amazing in quarter century. But it was an expensive card. You could have picked this card up for like $2, something like that, maybe $3 at the most. It wasn't an expensive card, and because of that, it's not going to be expensive in the set. So when you're looking at how do you approach this set, these cards are going to be cheap. And if you want the collector's rare, or you want the ultimate rares, or you want the platinums, or just the secrets, go look at Rarity Collection 1 and look how cheap they are. And then take that and apply it to here. They are going to be cheap. If you want these cards, pass on the sealed, buy the singles. Even if you're chasing after the quarter century, there's like 80 cards in here. What are the chances that the quarter centuries you pull are going to be IP, Apollosa, you know, some of the higher end cards? Chances are you're going to be pulling cards like Masquerade Dragon and Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon and TG Hyper Librarian. Well, good luck getting your $120 back out of this. These cards are going to be cheap. Buy the singles. That's my advice from you. Or that's my advice to you. And the last thing I want to say, where? I don't even have words. Where is my card? Where's Dark Necrofear? No Dark Necrofear. Can you believe it? I'm stunned. I'm stunned that there's no Dark Necrofear. There were a lot of great cards they could have put in here that would have built value into this set. They passed on it. If I were you, I'd be expecting Rarity Collection 3. My name's Tal from Ko2 Cards, and I am out of here.